And another person we've got playing at the World Cup is Hernandez, the new signing.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be really interesting to see how he goes. He's looked pretty good in the...
He's got a good goal scoring ratio in his game so far, so...
Yeah, he's looked pretty good in the friendlies for Mexico. They've played about 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he's obviously looks like he's going to be a pretty key player for them at the World Cup, and he's an out-and-out striker, which is something
exactly
that,
what they need, especially.
Yeah.
And he's got very good instincts in the box. Like he's just great in around that 6-yard box, knocking in goals left, right and centre at the moment.
Also for England, we've got Michael Carrick, who had a bit of a so-so season for United, and there's talk that rumours that he could be on the way back to Tottenham.
Well, I think that's only going to happen in a switch move for another player, and that player, of course, will be Luka Modric. But I really don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
so
he's just signed a new
6-year
deal there.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to be.
So it'd have to be one hell of a deal for Tottenham to release him, obviously.
And I don't think I don't think he's going to play a game for England.
Now, just go through a quick tip for the World Cup.
Oh, my tip's definitely Spain. I just think their midfield's way too strong. They have an amazing forward line, and their defence, of course, you've got Gerard Piqué and Carlos Puyol in the middle, and you can't really beat those two.
My tip's Brazil, even though they don't have Pato, who I was pretty annoyed about playing, but I just think the quality they've got just all the way through forward, from the forwards to the goalkeeper. So I think they're going to be too strong to beat.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Spain with Nick as well, because I mean their squad's just unbelievable. Really, they've got so many good players in midfield, of course, up front and back. Even in goal, they've got tremendous depth. So they've just got way too strong a squad, I think. And I think they should win it if they can overcome the underachievements of the previous World Cups, which they seem to do at the Euros.
Miles?
I might go for Argentina then, just to be different. I know they've sort of struggled to qualify and scraped in, but with players of the calibre of Lionel Messi, then someone like him can step up and win a game for any team. So they've got a lot of quality there anyway. So hopefully it all
just
gels
Lionel
together.
Messi.
How are you meant to say it?
Lionel
Messi.
Now welcome back. Now we've subbed Males out, and we've got Will here.
Hey.
Now first of all, before anything, Will's going to give us his World Cup prediction. Who are you fancying to take it out?
Yeah, I think like Josh and Nick said, Spain have a really good opportunity this year. Like you said, with the quality of players they've got, you can't.
A topic that's been on the cards for quite a few years now is what's going to happen once Sir Alex hangs up the, well, not the boots, maybe the trench coat that he always wears, but he was going to retire a couple of years back and then put that on hold, but it's an issue that's never far from discussion. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think that there's a possibility that he could drop dead on the sidelines at Old Trafford one week. But seriously, I think that it might be achievement based, such as if United pulls ahead of Liverpool on the amount of titles, which will happen with the next one, of course. Then I think that might be a good opportunity for him to.
Well, that's what he stated when he first came to the helm at United, that he wanted to knock Liverpool off their perch, so to speak, leaving out a few French words there. But yeah, I think that's definitely his target. He wants to overtake them, and then maybe he'll hand it over to whoever's assistant by then, or whoever wants to come in.
Is there any tips for who might take the reins?
Mourinho would be nice.
Well, I think Mourinho is tipped to take over, and when Fergie sort of is hinting at retirement in the next couple of years is when Mourinho's new contract at Real Madrid is due to run out.
One of the former United players who's gone into management might be a good choice there, since they've got a real love for the club and they might want to stick around for a few years. Someone like Steve Bruce, who seems to be really canny in the transfer market. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I sort of agree with you, Josh. I think we need to look for someone that, like you say, is going to really stick around. Someone that's been at the club previously, knows the ins and outs of the club, knows the staff, knows the players to some degree. With your Scholes and your Giggs is there at the moment. So someone like a Bruce type figure, someone who knows the club, knows the staff, someone that's easy to get along with. Brucey, like you said, seems to be good in the transfer market, picking up bargains, and that's probably what we need at the moment with with the transfer rumours that are flying around, we need someone that can just come in and pick up a guy who's, you know, under the radar, not too expensive, under 10 mil, and just
develop them.
Yeah, develop them.
Yeah, now speaking of retirement, and what are we going to do afterwards is Edwin van der Sar. Now we thought maybe the season just gone was the one he was going to retire, but he's signed a 1-year extension, so he'll be there next year.
That has brought along the selling of Ben Foster,
who I'm sure may have been considering staying around if he had hung it up and they hadn't brought in a keeper from elsewhere. But
I think it was unfair to expect Foster to stick around forever. I mean, he's young and he's ambitious, especially, and he wants to be playing as much first-team football as he can. And I don't think that he was getting the satisfaction out of the reserves.
It really ruined his England hopes as well, sticking around at United and not getting games, because he was definitely going to be in the squad if he had have been playing regular first-team football.
And I think the thing about Foster is I feel a little bit sad for him, because he's good enough to be at United, and someone like Van der Sar is definitely, like, he's retiring. You can learn a lot from Van der Sar if he's stuck around.
So what do you think is going to happen after next season when Edwin's most likely retires?
Well, I think someone else is going to come in. I don't think Kuszak's a top 4 first choice keeper.
Yeah, I don't think.
And Amos is obviously not going to be ready
younger than us, so I think
to take over the reins there. So I think someone from outside has to be brought in, and of course there's countless top quality keepers going around Europe. People like Akinfeev from CSKA, and in Germany they have enormous depth in
Hugo
keepers.
Lloris.
Hugo Lloris is.
I'd very much like to see him come in.
Players like Rene Adler and Manuel Neuer.
I personally think that Ferguson's probably going to dip into somewhere in the Premier League to buy a keeper, because he's going to look for someone who's tested. And also, I don't think we should expect someone young to come in, because we saw when we bought Van der Sar, he was conceivably at the end of his tether, but he had the experience, the European experience specifically, to fill the shoes.
I think someone that is realistically within our ambitions is probably Akinfeev. We've been linked with him numerous times over the past couple of years, and he's someone with experience, and he's of a good age, so he's going to have time to grow there, and he's a very top quality keeper. So
yeah, he's been Russia's #1 for so long you can't even remember, and he's got a lot of Champions League experience as well, which is
vital, really.
Yeah.
And lastly, our redtalk.info, which is the website that's hopefully going to be up in the next week or so, that Nick's been working tirelessly on with the codes and things, getting a nice design together, and it looks really good, I have to say. We've all seen it, and we've all written a couple of articles, so we'll have some things to go on there, not just shiny pictures and buttons and things like that. Now, a couple of things that will be on there when we put it up, obviously the video you're currently watching. I've written a bit of a welcome and how the whole idea came about. Also about supporting United in Australia. We have to get up in the middle of the morning when we'd rather be sleeping, or middle of the night, sorry. And Josh, you've written a couple of articles as well, like the one we spoke about before, the Fletcher one. Also another player who's not quite having the success of Fletcher.
Yeah, I wrote the Fletcher one, as you said, and another one on Anderson, and comparing him to Cleberson. Of course, we all know the chant, how it goes, Anderson better than Cleberson, and I just explore whether he really is, because he's been pretty disappointing of late.
And Nick?
I've written an article on the current state of the leadership at United in terms of captains and the future, what we can look forward to the future, and who we think is going to be leading.
Definitely fair to say there's a bit of change coming about with what's going to happen with Fergie retires, Van der Sar retires, and also Gary Neville retiring, so we're up for a bit of change. And Will, you got any ideas for a couple of articles that you might treat the people out there to watch?
Yeah,
read?
I wanted to explore probably a little bit more like what Nick was saying, but in depth a bit more with the talent at the club at the moment. Probably have a look at the likes of Welbeck, Makeda, and see how they're developing. Obviously, we can go a bit deeper than that into the under-18s, where we've got some of the younger players coming through, pushing through reserves, and just have a look at them and see if we can find out any players that are coming through, just to see what the future's like.
But that's pretty much it for the first episode of Red Talk. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.